I want to welcome all the new faces to Arana Nation, all of you who have just been freshly sworn in as citizens of the Arana Nation. A little bit about this wonderful revolution that we're starting here on social media. As you all know, who have been following me for a long time, we're at war with traditional means of information. We are the new means of information. We are the revolution. We are the Arana Nation. And for those of you who have just now decided to subscribe, if you are anti-globalist, this nation is for you. If you are non-interventionist, this nation is for you. If you are for nationalism and putting your country first, this nation is for you. If you're anti-Zionist, this nation is for you. Now, if you are just another neocon, boomer Zionist who believes in what the dinosaur mainstream media tells you, both on the left or the right, please unsubscribe immediately. And today I want to talk to you about something that has just come out, a bit of breaking news. CNN has just come out and said that Democratic nominee for President of the United States, Tulsi Gabbard, is not qualified to be in the next CNN debate or in any CNN debates in the future. And they're saying this because she is at a certain percentage of popularity, as they like to call it, in the in the polls. She's in a certain level, and all the others are at a certain level. I've never really understood this. It's the same thing they do in the federal election, where this is why we don't see third parties on the debate stage during the federal election. We just see the same Democrats and Republicans, because they say if you are not at a certain popularity, if you're not at a certain place in the polls, what's the point? I personally have always said that, in a presidential election, if your name is on the ballot in all of the precincts, you should have the right to be on the debate stage, because you have just as much a chance of winning as anyone else. How can you say that someone is not qualified because they're not in a certain place in the polls? Debates are where people go to determine who they're going to vote for. So if they don't see somebody on the debate stage, then they really don't have a chance at becoming president. So CNN, I think there's a different reason. I think that's the fake reason they're giving, not to put Tulsi Gabbard on the debate stage. I think the real reason they don't want Tulsi Gabbard on the debate stage is because she is the only Democrat who is non-interventionist, who wants to pull America out of these useless wars. She's the only nationalist out of all the Democrats who are running for president, a true left-wing populist nationalist. Donald Trump was supposed to take that mantle, and internationally he has failed big time. And honestly, you all know, for those of you who have followed me for a while, you know that I have endorsed Tulsi Gabbard to be the Democratic nominee. And if she were to become the Democrat nominee, there's no question that I would be backing her 100%. Donald Trump has done great things domestically, but internationally he gets an F as president, in my opinion. He wants to go after Iran, one of the last remaining nations which has, along with Syria, which has resisted the internationalists, the Zionists, the international banksters, the globalists. They have resisted it. They have tried to come together and form an pan-Arab nationalism to resist the internationalists and all this stuff. And I'm not saying this because I'm pro-Arab or pro-Islam or any of that stuff. I'm just saying that because I believe in nationalism for all countries. I believe that all countries, economically, socially, should be independent of the globalists and the Zionists and the banksters, all these things. We all know that the Zionist plan is to send refugees from the Middle East to these Western nations, so that we can lose our identity, and then Israel can can grow and form the Greater Israel Pact. That's the plan. Um, but people like Tulsi Gabbard would stop that, because without America, really, Israel is toast. I mean, without America, the whipping boy, America, they're toast. That whole crap would stop, and then maybe we'd finally stop having refugees coming to our nation because America wouldn't be destabilizing all these nations, which then form the refugees to come to America and to Europe and to my country of Canada in the first place. We'd finally stop having that happen. We'd finally see some peace. We'd finally stop seeing our men and women dying because of these pointless wars for oil, for all this sort of stuff. We'd stop that. And that's one of the reasons why I would love to see a President Gabbard. But CNN and most of the other globalist media, even Fox News, they are threatened by Tulsi Gabbard. They are threatened just like they were threatened by Donald Trump. And I feel that this is a perfect way to make sure that Tulsi doesn't become president. By blocking her voice, by blocking her from joining any debates. They've been doing this whole campaign now. She's probably been in a few debates where she tore up the other Democrats, a lot of these Democrats. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, it's really, really pathetic to see the state of the Democrat Party right now. I mean, these guys are pathetic. Pathetic. I mean, Joe Biden, Buttigieg, all these people. I mean, granted, you know what? I will say one good thing about Pete Buttigieg. At least he served. He served in the military, unlike all these other chicken hawks who want to send Americans out to go fight, and they've never seen a uniform in their entire life. They ran for even Donald Trump, the chicken hawk as well. He wants to send Americans to Iran, or at least, I don't know if he's being pressured to do it or forced to, but he never served. In fact, when it was his time to serve in Vietnam, he had his father say that there was something wrong with his leg. But all these people didn't serve. At least Buttigieg served. Tulsi Gabbard also served as well. I admire leaders who serve in the military, 100%. But other than that, these Democrats are a joke. All of them talking about impeaching Trump. I mean, how can you impeach? I mean, who is the dummy who said that we're going to focus our entire energy, we're going to put the whole Democrat machine behind impeaching Trump when they know they wouldn't happen because the Senate is packed with Republicans? Who's the dummy who did that? Now the Democrats they look humiliated. They knew this was going to happen. The Americans see them for the fools they are. But Tulsi goes on the stage. She tears them all apart. And CNN knows that if this continues, she would most likely be the nominee. She's probably the Democrats' only hope. I mean, she can speak to young people like myself. She can speak to people in the Rust Belt states and in the Rust Belt counties of America who are tired of seeing their jobs going overseas and all, because she's a left-wing nationalist. You've got right-wing nationalists like Trump used to be, and to a certain extent he still is, at least domestically, and people like Pat Buchanan and all these people. And then you got the left-wing nationalist populists like Tulsi Gabbard. And she can speak to she can take states like Pennsylvania and Michigan back to the Democrats. She can do that stuff, And the thing is that CNN and the mainstream media, the problem they have with her is the fact that she is a left-wing nationalist. She's not a globalist. 100% not a globalist. And the thing with the mainstream media in America that you have to understand, and with Democrats and Republicans in America in particular, they may disagree on all sorts of things. But the one thing Democrats and Republicans agree on, and you saw it on the State of the Union, the one thing they would always clap for is when America is intervening in some other nation, when America is talking about war, when America is talking about killing someone they perceive to be as a terrorist without any proof. I mean, you saw the State of the Union. Nancy Pelosi with her face all made up, disgusted looking, tearing up paper and all that stuff. But the few times that Nancy Pelosi ever applauded, along with all those Democrats, even the Democrats wearing white, those extreme type of Democrats. All of the only time they would ever applaud, there were a few times they applauded. The first time Nancy applauded was when Donald Trump said that Guaido, who was in the audience, was the legitimate president of Venezuela. And nobody voted for him. Who voted for him? He's the president because America says so? So what are they going to do? Go put sanctions on Venezuela? Go fight Venezuela? Is that because America said so? She applauded. She stood up and applauded. And all the Democrats and the Republicans, they applauded. That's the first time. And the second time I noticed she applauded was when Donald Trump talked about killing Qasem Soleimani, the general and from Iran. That's the second time she applauded. And then, of course, she applauded. I mean, so the thing is that these guys are united in preserving the American empire, making sure America continues to be the whipping boy of the Zionists, going to these useless wars and all this stuff. That's what they want. CNN wants it. MSNBC wants it. Fox wants it. They all want it. They love it. When Donald Trump bombed Syria, CNN was applauding him. All of those, Wolf Blitzer, Anderson, and they were all applauding him. I thought they were going to I thought I was going to see Wolf Blitzer with a Make America Great Again hat. So they're united in this. They're united in this. They love it. And they really, I can tell you the real reason why they hated Donald Trump in 2016, and they still hate him now. They really hated him because during those times, he was talking about ending these useless wars. Stop being the whipping boy for the Zionists, getting along with Russia, ripping up NAFTA, securing our borders. These globalists don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it from a Republican, and they don't want to hear it from a Democrat either. So they're doing everything they can to make sure, they don't like the fact that the Republicans have Trump. They're going to make damn sure that the Democrats don't get Tulsi Gabbard. Which is a shame. It really, really is a shame. And unfortunately, I don't think she is going to make it in the Democrat primary because the Democrats, at least today's Democrats, they're not educated. I mean, I'm not saying Republicans are much more educated, but I think she would fare better with the Republicans than with the Democrats. I think she should run as an independent or a third-party candidate and do her very best to get her name on all the ballots and then fight like hell to get on the debate stage. But I don't think she's going to make it with the Democrats because the Democrat Party has gone to a point where the only thing that they were doing seriously was trying to impeach Donald Trump. And that failed, and now they look stupid. So now they look like the Trump-hating, irrationally Trump-hating donkey party, jackass party like they are. And so the people who are following them are obviously going to do the same thing because despite even though Americans like to appear strong and independent, they're going to do what their party tells them to at the end of the day. Just like all these people, when Trump was talking about getting along with Russia, everybody supported him, and now that he's bombing Iran, you can't talk to Trump supporters about, the fact that, look at what he's doing. He said he was going to do this. They'll say, oh, well, we're going to support him no matter what. People will do what their party tells them to do. That's how it is. And these Democrats are doing the same, what their party is telling them to do. You have to hate Donald Trump no matter what, except when he's talking about war. But other than that, it's the hate Trump party. We have no plan of our own. Don't talk about anything. We just want to impeach him. We don't like him. That's it. Tulsi Gabbard was rational enough to know that impeaching him is not going to work when the Senate is filled with his people. So she didn't even want to be a part of this whole foolishness. And so the Democrats don't want to follow her because she's smart. And the Democrat Party as a whole is the anti-Trump, Trump derangement syndrome party. Tulsi Gabbard didn't want to be a part of that, not because she likes Donald Trump. They're on this different party. She doesn't like Donald Trump, but the fact is she didn't want to be a part of a foolish non-starter plot to try and impeach someone, come what may, knowing that it's not going to work. She wanted to use her energy on trying to defeat him in 2020. And as a result, the Democrat establishment and the Democrat voters, they don't like her. They don't want to hear about all the other things she's saying, the real truth that she's talking about, her plans internationally and domestically. They just don't like the fact that she doesn't have Trump derangement syndrome and the fact that she's her own person. I think she should be on the debate stage. I think this is a new low for CNN. We can see CNN for who they are. They're not Democrats, they're not Republicans, they're a bunch of globalists, Zionists, fake Jew-supported Zionists who want war, who want to see the New World Order fulfilled. They're gonna stop anybody who gets in their way. This is the Arana